One other thing I did want to mention was that recently Nina Turner was on TYT and confirmed basically that everyone's
Yeah.
longstanding suspicion that she was eyeing the presidential election 2024. But she did not specify, nor was she asked on the program, will she run as a Democrat in the Democratic primary in 2024? Or does she have, I mean, obviously she was the keynote speaker at the People's Convention. She didn't outright say she'll run third party, but she's also, I know she has behind the scene urged Bernie to accept the draft the movement for a People's Party in 2016. She was pushing him in that direction before he even ran in 2020. Obviously, she failed to push him in that
Yeah.
direction, but she clearly sees like the value, or at least she seems to understand the value in mounting a third party opposition. And do you think do you think she would have any chance in the Democratic primary? Do you think that would be an endeavor worth taking?
I think she's definitely kicking the tires on both cars, right? Like she's trying to decide what I think. I think that she's, in the same way to like maybe a girl, she was like, oh, well, I would love to run for a People's Party, but if the movement, isn't around in 2024 in the way that we're hoping it is, then, I don't think that Nina Turner would run as a People's Party. I think that she would run as a Democrat, and I think that she would, I think that she would do quite well in the Democratic primary. But I would like to see her run for a People's Party because I think that that's where she would do better, and I think that she wouldn't have to deal with all of the. Well, I don't know. It's just like Nina Turner is going to have a really hard time wherever she runs because she's trying to represent the people. I mean, the Democratic Party is going to throw every smear at her that they possibly can. They're going to try and throw every hurdle in her way on her way through the primary, just like Bernie Sanders, but probably to a greater extent because,
I have a kind of, somewhat probably controversial idea on what Nina Turner should do. And I don't know if this will be popular among, the left, but I think this is her best strategy, which is to kind of do what a lot of people were accusing Tulsi Gabbard was going to do in 2020, which is run as the Democratic primary, knowing you're not going to win, and then use that basically just as a way to gain a bunch of name recognition and a platform boost. That way you can mount a serious third party. Because if Nina Turner just ran with the People's Party from the outset and,
Yeah.
she probably wouldn't be able to gain enough name recognition or because of the money.
Oh yeah, they would just.
But if she got on a debate
give her a
stage,
blackout on the media.
if she got on the Democratic debate stage, just like how Tulsi Gabbard was the number one most Googled name on pretty much every time she was on the debate stage in the Democratic Party, you get so much. Same with Marianne Williamson. No one knew who she was before she ran on the Democratic primary. Even though she had no chance of winning, it gave her a massive platform boost. People all of a sudden know who you are. You've heard you speak. And in my opinion, Nina Turner is twice the politician that Tulsi Gabbard is, twice as commanding the politician. And unlike Marianne Williamson, who kind of scared people off with her spiritual stuff, speaking in all these kind of weird ways. Nina Turner, I think, would cut right to the heart of the issues, right to the populism, right to the issues that affect people, that people want and need. And I think if she were to able to do that, and I think she should make it a stipulation, if I'm treated fairly by the Democrats, then I won't. Then I'll respect the decision of the Democratic electorate, and I'll respect the results of the primary, and I won't challenge the winner of the primary. But if they decide to pull any
Horse shit.
Yeah, any horse shit, if they press their thumbs on the scale in any way, like they did in 2016 and 2020, and same with the media, if they start telling everyone on the media to start inventing smears about Nina Turner and covering her and acting like she's crazy, even though she's obviously just representing populist ideas that the majority of the people are behind, then I think she absolutely should say, well, no, fuck you, and I'm taking my voters with me. Basically, do what Trump said and said, no, I'm not gonna,
exactly.
I'm not gonna just get behind the eventual nominee just because they won this rigged bullshit process. Absolutely not. I'm gonna threaten to take my voters elsewhere, just like Trump did. And obviously, no one likes to make that Trump comparison, but it was kind of strategically brilliant in a way, in that it separated him from the rest of the pack. It said, no,
and it kept the Republicans. It kept the Republicans so filled with fear that they didn't try and rob it from him. And also, Trump did have the upper hand because it was a really crowded field, right? You had guys that just weren't going to drop out, right? Ted Cruz wasn't going to drop out, until the convention.
Exactly. And the Republicans weren't smart enough to consolidate behind either Cruz or Kasich to try to stop Trump like the Democrats did behind Biden. So, yeah, anyway, I think that's what Nina Turner's best shot is. And I think that if she were able to gain a bunch of popularity and then come in second place or something in a rigged process, then I think she could
Yeah,
making sure you're
100%.
strong.
Hell yeah, and I think that's a great strategy. To be honest, I hadn't necessarily thought of that, and I 100% agree that that's the way to go. I would I think that's I think that's I think 100%. Yeah.
Hmm. I think she's probably the. I mean, I personally can't think of anyone in the moment that I would rather really see carry on the Bernie,
Nobody that I trust.
radical left.
In
Yeah,
a couple of years, I would like to
yeah,
see somebody like Brianna Joy Gray run and get into politics. I
that'd
would
be
like to
cool.
see her get in, run for House or Congress or something. I mean, maybe she's more interested in being press, but I just think we need more strong voices to represent people. So
Yeah, and Nina Turner is just such a passionate, she really like uh
moving
yeah,
speaker.
she's such a great
She's an
speaker.
orator.
She
Yeah.
could inspire you to, do just about anything. And I
It's
think
kind of
that
like we talk about that Obama presence. Like some
yeah,
people have it and some people don't. Like Joe Biden doesn't have it, right?
no,
Like
no.
Nina Turner has it.
Nina Turner is an absolute superstar. And honestly, I bet the Democrats are, as much as they hate her, I bet they're kind of secretly, they hate her because they wish she was on their team, Like whoever has Nina Turner on their team is automatically like has a big advantage because she's just so powerful and so undeniable. Like how can you not like Nina Turner? She's a powerhouse, and she speaks to the actual working class struggles of this country. She doesn't strike people as like a crazy leftist, even though she was Bernie's like right hand woman. She doesn't come off as a partisan. She just comes off as a genuine person that's not entrenched in the muck of the system. She seems like, and even though she's not, hasn't been a United States senator or anywhere beyond a state senator, I still think that in a way could be good in a sense that, I mean, she is an outsider. She could own that. She doesn't have to, pretend otherwise.
What the fuck was Trump before he became president?
Exactly.
I mean, that kind of
Yeah.
pierced the bubble if there was one of any kind of like, oh, there is
Yeah.
a veneer of like you must be something like a governor or whatever before you
Exactly.
can be president. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that Nina Turner is and I mean, just on a debate stage, like that was always my one issue with Bernie. It's like, God damn, every time he was on the debate stage, I just wanted him to do so much more than he did. Like
Yeah.
he always gave the right answers and he was
But he
always
held
on
back.
point, but he really did held back. And Nina Turner, and there was even a point where like Bernie like kind of low key apologized for something that Nina Turner had said about Biden, where she had called him corrupt or something. And it's like Nina Turner would not have held back like that. She would have been extremely adversarial, but
Oh yeah, that was the Zephyr Teach Out article.
well, there's that too. But then there was another thing that Nina Turner said. I can't remember what she said, but it was in one of the very last debates, and they basically got Bernie to apologize for something that
Oh,
Nina Turner
gotcha.
had said
Yeah.
that I was really disappointed by. That he didn't, stand by her more so than and he was kind of like, oh, I don't stand by that necessarily or whatever.
Yeah.
Nina Turner is so unapologetic. I can't see her apologizing for anything or second guessing. And that was something that the media was really masterfully able to get Bernie to do, is they were constantly able to make him apologize for things. I'm sorry for endorsing Cenk Uygur. I'm sorry for doing this. Sorry for what Jeffers Esau said. I'm sorry for this. Like Nina Turner, I cannot see them being able to do that too. But with Bernie, I feel like he genuinely felt like he had some responsibility, and I feel like he really internalized the thing that how he helped elect Donald Trump and all this. I feel like he internalized that. He took it very seriously. Nina Turner understands that that's like a bullshit mainstream media shaming technique that has no actual legitimacy to it. She wouldn't fall for their bullshit.
100%. Yeah, I can't wait to see what comes from that. I'm hoping that it does pan out that way. Obviously, 2024 is a ways off.
Yeah, obviously, and hopefully she. This is another thing that I wanted to say about Nina Turner is that I remember Cori Bush essentially said, like, yeah, I got beat in 2016, but I never stopped campaigning, ever. Even though I lost, I still was going around the community, making the case, helping out people, leading the protest movements in my community. I think Nina Turner similarly shouldn't just wait until 2024. She should, be going on every media platform she can, trying to build name recognition, make the case for Medicare for all, make the case for herself as the continuation of these
Well, I
policies.
think she's doing that. She started her own podcast. She's been on a number of really popular lefty podcasts recently. I think that obviously the Movement for the People's Party. I think this is her, starting to plant those seeds. And, especially once the election is over and we are moving now into like full on opposition time, I think that's when she's going to really come and make it clear, like, this wasn't about thwarting the 2020 election. This was about building for the 2024 election.
Yep.
So I think she is being conscious of that and not like, oh, why are you just like coming out right before the election? You're not even on the ticket. Like, I think she's going to, plant the seeds now. And then after inauguration in January, I think we'll really see some stuff rev up.
And I hope she's one of the loudest voices opposing and trying to pressure Joe Biden because
Oh, I imagine she will be.
I just can't stand to think of Joe Biden becoming president, the activists left falling asleep, and everyone just pretending like everything's okay. And Nina Turner is one of those voices, because she has a powerful voice that I really do think could, wake people up. Like she said, like it's not just neo-fascism; it's also neoliberalism that we have to deal with. And I think she can really like make people awaken to that reality that Joe Biden's policies and the kind of government that he's going to be running is in many ways also, an oppressive form of government and is something that also needs to be done away with and reformed. It's not just a substitute for Donald Trumpian policies.